Everyone, Jawas Junkyard here. Just wanted to give you a quick little update video since I haven't really done one in a while. I thought I'd go over quite a few just general updates, products, where we're at, things we're working on, things that are on the way, shipping statuses, and just general things that we've implemented recently to hopefully make the customer experience better for you, and obviously help make things a bit more manageable for me, as I'm only one guy trying to tackle everything. So I guess first is first, we'll sort of start with some of the changes that we've made recently. So just some small things. We've updated the website to just have a bit more of a new feel. Nothing crazy, we've just had a consistent image size implemented across the store. We've updated the images that appear on the homepage, on the store, and an announcement, well, by the time this video is uploaded will have come, that we're introducing a bit of a sort of subscription loyalty program where you pay a fee per month, you could pay per quarter, per year, and save. And what that will give you at the very least is a 10% off discount code, so 5% off discount code, across all our products. Pre-orders, non-pre-orders, just 5% off. So obviously you can quickly get your value there. But also we're going to start doing some other things. So maybe we might be doing, like, let's say for example, a Beyblade, we'll do a colour that's only available to those on a subscription. For the Digimon devices, we may do a colour that's only available for them with maybe a special engraving. And just certain little things. We may do an annual sort of token that we make, like a little token to specify the year, and we'll do, depending on how it all unveils, maybe we do one for 1 year of service, 2, 3, 4, and just a way of sort of honouring and interacting better with our fans. And I hope to push more content like this. I'll put a lot of it, still the general main stuff, on YouTube, but maybe we get a bit of early looks and things like that. Just a new sort of model I wanted to play with, one I've been thinking about for a while. We obviously have a lot of 3D models that we do and we don't end up producing. So, things like the 3D printable HMS launcher, we think that might be useful for people to be able to print at home themselves. Just certain things like that we can release. We've got models of Goku that we own. We've got models of a lot of the Beyblade main characters, the Beyblade Bit Beasts. We have, a lot of these 3D models that we could include on this program for people to use that way. I've got countless designs that we've made, even lightsaber hilts that never made it to fruition. So maybe we take those, we tweak the design for like an LGBT core or something, and then we drop that, and we'll start working different categories, different tiers I should say, in the subscription. Yeah, I mean, complete guess, it maybe nobody wants it and we get rid of it, but that's just something I was thinking about, something I was thinking to give a try. So that'll be that. Next thing, we had a bit of delays with production because we smashed our factories with a lot of work. I'll talk sabers first, then Beyblade. So according to the shop, the Bane should ship out this week. Now, they didn't include springs for the switches, so I've had to custom make those switches. Those switches should ship to me, the springs, around the 3rd of September. Hopefully a bit sooner, we'll see, because look, I fly to the US to come meet some of you all on the 15th of September, so it would be very good to get those in and shipped out. But look, at the worst case, if the pains are in my warehouse under my control, then at least the pain is over. Then it's just a matter of getting them shipped out to you over a couple of weeks, because there are a lot of Banes. We got a lot of orders for it. It's our biggest shipment in one go, so please, even once we get it, bear with us. But I'm very happy that'll come to the end. Then we've got the Dark Yoda, which is, look, production was finished. They sent me one model. I wasn't happy with a few things that they didn't implement from my feedback from the sample that they sent me earlier on, the the original prototype. They just misunderstood something. So I saw that they've produced all of those parts that needed to be reproduced. They've started assembling them and have told me they will ship at the end of this month, and we will see. I guess on the Yu-Gi-Oh side, the Millennium Puzzle reorder, they are in transit to me. Apparently still with customs before they're unable to ship to me, so I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully they can get cleared up. There's a bit of a customs question. I haven't been asked for anything. Apparently it's all on the factory's end. And in the same shipment is the entire production quantity for the 1997 Digivice case remake. So that'll be cool. We can send that out to you guys hopefully within a week. I'm hoping, we'll see. And then at the end of the month, we should have both Sith Father, the Bane, and the Dark Yoda ship. So that's awesome. I guess we should touch on the prototypes that we've got and the other sort of just reorders. So the prototype of the, I guess, our, well, let's see, which way do we want to cover it? We've got a few things happening. So, look, the Ronin V2, I've seen some videos and some photos of a few different small parts that have been machined for that sample. But they haven't really made significant headway on the main and the more difficult parts. So look, I guess I did warn that it would be a slow process, and unfortunately that's been the case. But that's okay. They have told me the sample should ship at the end of this month, but I do not believe them. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted when it comes. But apparently that's their commitment, and I just don't believe it. The Elite August anniversary hilt that we're doing is going on well. Yep, there are some good questions. They're producing it. So I already had the sample made. This is production batch basically. So once that's made, I'll probably just ask them to send one over just for final checks, and then they'll send the batch just to save shipping back a whole bunch if there's a problem that we didn't catch earlier. I guess let's switch over to the Beyblades now. So right now, I guess we haven't really shown off these samples properly. So we've received the Celemillion samples. So as everyone knows, you get one, I guess, attack ring, weight disc, and base, but you get 2 sub-attack rings with every order. Basically the package will be designed around this smaller version, because look, the intention is these are the ones that are going to be used. This is really for display. I mean, look, they're thick, it's not sharp. You can see I'm pushing my thumb into it quite tough. It is not sharp. We've done all we can do to make it not sharp, but it still has an edge. So these are definitely display pieces only, not to be used and use at your own risk. And I'm going to print a little sticker like that says something like that and include it on every box for this, just to make sure everyone's clear that you're not meant to spin this. Alright, it's just for display purposes, to be anime accurate. And it doesn't spin very well either, because obviously, it's got this huge, and most stadiums, the way the curvature works, it's just going to scrape the sides and these. This one here spins really well, actually. It's quite stable. The mass is quite centered. So that's why we thought we'd do it. We'd give you something like this, a bit more toned down, a bit more reasonable, and then the anime accuracy. I guess the other sample we haven't shown off yet would be the Unicorn. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm doing some without the glitter. It'll just be like that same color, but no glitter, and the blue in the eyes and the same here. But to be honest, it really pops. You got the red here, the little purple nibs on the sample. They just didn't fit. So that's one thing that they have to improve for production, just reduce the size of that, or to be honest, open up this in the mold, whichever's simpler. It doesn't really matter. We just need to get those nibs in. They just didn't account properly for the thickness of the coating. But it is a beautiful Beyblade, and it spins decently well. It's not as good as the Grafolium, but it is pretty good. And look, to be honest, it's just beautiful. So it's one of my favourite bays. I guess other projects that are we sort of announced, and we haven't really done too much, but we've actually paid for and kicked off the injection moulding for our own versions of this. But I want to stress that although the spring will be original, most of the material is going to be original, we are upgrading those black little grippers that lock you in with your HMS bay, because they're known to wear. We're upgrading them to a material that is stronger and wear resistant. So I won't give too much away, just if someone wants to copy us, but there's, I mean, if you know materials, there's only a few good choices. And actually, you know what, for what we've realized and what customers have fed back to us is this other, in this case, this silver piece here with the other prongs that doesn't really grip the bay, but just stabilizes in the HMS bay. For when you're launching metal bays, both steel bays from Benchblade or my, zinc alloy blades, and I guess now Bench has started doing with the Dragoon MS and MSUV, I guess an all metal zinc bay as well. Those prongs can snap as well, so I'm just going to increase their strength, make them the same material as what would be in these black ones here, just to try and improve robustness. Nothing's going to be perfect, but it'll be a lot better. There's really no need to upgrade anything inside here. There's quite a bunch of thick material interfacing with thick material, so this can handle the heavy weight very, very well. And of course the spring, we're making our own spring with the same spring constant, same exact spring, but requires custom spring. And the screws, would you believe it or not, these aren't custom, but this one needs to be custom. It's quite elaborate. Adds to the cost of making it. So we've kicked that off, and we're actually doing the ripcord also, our own version. So you will be able to buy, you might come to us and say, hey, I love your Drons AMS, but I really don't have any HMS ripcords or launchers. What do I do? Bang, we can give you the whole kit, and we will do a little bit of a combo deal for, I guess, a beginner's kit where you get this, you get your ripcord, and of course we'll sell the spare with the ripcord, and then just ripcords by themselves. But I guess that sums up that. In terms of projects going forward, I really want to give this a go. So I've got this. Did I open it from the back? I must have, yeah. I opened it from the back. I was sneaky. Look, I've opened this and played with it before. I really want to repro this. I really like the flappy mechanism, and look, it's not too hard, and I've already got the CWD weight disc, so that's okay. I've always got the bit chip mold, so that's another win. So there's only a few new parts that I would need to add to this to get this completed, so it won't be, I guess, the biggest investment for me. It's still not cheap, they never are, but that's what I'm thinking. Something cool, something different. Bench and I have discussed, I guess, some of the upcoming products, and we don't want to step on each other's toes. We want to offer you guys everything, so you guys can get as many repros as you can. But at the same time, we don't want, because it's effectively like, to get our investment back, we have to sell twice as many things, because if Bench makes 500 and I make 500 of them, for each of us to get our money back, we've got to sell, say 1,000 units, let's say, as an example, instead of just the 500, because there's, I guess, the options at the same time. Really for us, the price is being set by a small markup, and the fact that injection molding is not cheap. So, injection molding is normally for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 sort of and more part quantity. So even at 500, 600, we're very, very low on the injection molding game. So the amortizing or spreading of that cost is not super easy, but is what it is. So I'll do this for now, and depending on how the financials look, I have to sit there because I've got a lot of projects with metal cards and with the current metal bays, and I've just got a lot of money invested in production at the moment and different developments. So we'll settle some of those accounts, we'll sell some of those, move some of those units, and then we can start pointing investment into the next direction. I guess something that I haven't really spoken about too much, I've sort of teased, but you guys have known I've been doing these metal cards for a while, Yu-Gi-Oh! For a few years now at least. Some of you may not know that we did a Charizard card once, and it wasn't in the same sort of style that we do the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ones in. I was testing something else out. And lately, look, I've been doing a lot of conventions, a lot of trading card conventions specifically, just because they love the collectibles, and they're doing obviously really big everywhere, but specifically in our area as well. And I've had a few discussions with some customers, and they've really pointed out that they would absolutely love to see me do some Pokemon cards in the style that I do the Yu-Gi-Oh! So you can see here, this is one style, this is fire energy, and we're doing the water energy and the grass, whatever you want to call it, in the same style as this, so full glittered up. But we're also doing, including the fire, in this sort of style here, where it's a little less. To be honest, I much prefer the other, but hey, for some others this might be the way to go. You can see the grass energy here. So they will come in a special box of 3. So 3 set, you get the 3 energies as a 3 set collection set with some cool box art, I believe. I hope you like it. I'm not the best 2D artist, but I gave it a whirl. I like the artwork. So, and then we're also doing at the same time a Charizard, Blastoise and Venusaur that'll also sell as a 3-pack in a special 3 collector's box. And look, I've got some conventions in November, and I've got conventions in 2 in December. These will be in stock in hand for those conventions. I have to think about putting it online because this sort of stuff does really well in person, not so well online, just because you can't feel the weight. It's super heavy. The quality you just can't see. Now the backs will have a modified version of the original card back with my logo, I guess, at the back there. We found people really like that with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, so we'll do that. And look, I'm going to be testing the waters. Like I said, we're doing these energies. I'm doing the lightning energy as well at the same time, just because it's one of the first ones. I have, like I mentioned, the 3 final evolutions of the original starters, and we're doing at the same time, I've got Ninetales, Mewtwo and Zapdos in production. So they will all be ready for those cons in November. These energy cards I should have in hand probably in 2 weeks. And then maybe a week or so later the 3, the Blastoise, Charizard and Venusaur. So we'll see. So I'm really excited about that, to be honest, because to me they look fantastic. Maybe I'm the only one, but I enjoy it. So we'll see how that goes. I just thought we'd quickly show off. So this was the final sample of the Dark Kyoto that came my way. We made a lot of changes. You may or may not be able to see very well, but we added in like a bit more of a ridge facility here, 2 additional magnets per grip, and we also added in like a little bit of an interface ridge. The idea is it grips around, it goes around the bar. So look, they're not 100% stable, but I could sort of do normal stuff with it and they stay on. They might wobble a little bit. So if you don't like that they wobble, you're more than welcome to, of course, 3M or just straight out glue these in place. But I really like the idea of being able to just pop them off and have a reveal. So maybe, for you, your personal sweet spot is to keep a couple magnetic or 1, depending on the chassis design you go for, and then, basically lock in and secure the others. We also changed this to make the top and bottom not magnetically removable. They're held in with these screws. These screws will be reduced in their height, just so you get better access to the switches. The two switches work really well, very low profile, which is great. Of course, we added back the, I guess, visible window here that was missing, the brass screws, and you also have your blade set screw right here. So this is done. The biggest issue that they had done was they kept this as a 7/8 inch opening, which means you've got 7/8 front, 7/8 in the back, but a 1 inch inside. So you would not really get much use out of that chassis. So although it was very clear, sent an updated 3D model of this being opened up to 1 inch and what happens to this, they didn't do it. So right now they've remade this final little piece. It's not too difficult, and they'll do this piece. And the idea is it won't thread like that. It'll basically place in, and there'll be, you can see here there's a screw there, and the screw on the other side, and those two screws will go through and hold this pommel cap in place. So look, it was the best way we could do without altering the design. Didn't involve magnets. They could securely hold the pommel. That gets you that at least 1 inch chassis, because like working with Tim when we did the Red Harvest, that 1 inch chassis was sort of just enough to get some stuff in there. It's obviously short like a Yoda hilt should be, and we wanted to be able to at least get a half decent install in. I've already shown off the Sith Father. I guess maybe I'll show a little bit more of the box art. It's pretty cool. So yeah, should be getting those really soon. I guess what else? So we've got a few. We always have a few projects in the works. So I guess for the Digimon fans, the D3 25th Color Evolution, I've had mine now for a week and a half or so. The plastic shell's been off at 3D scanning, and I should get that over the next couple of days. Once I get it, I'll look over the model, do some test prints, make sure it fits. 3D scanning isn't perfect. I'll have to go through that test procedure. Once I'm happy, I will contact my proto machinist, and we'll do one machine sample just to make sure it all fits in metal, and then we'll go from there. Look, I've been thinking about, just depending on how the structure is of the device, the caps for the switches. So the main buttons, and at the bottom, the sort of D-pad-ish button, they are all plastic that sits on a rubber insert. That rubber insert has co-molded with a graphite conductive pad that activates your switches. So we could actually do those top covers in metal, and that's fine. Obviously that's a bit of weight, it may change the way the buttons feel, and we can include that with the set. And of course you don't have to use them. You can, we'll do it in a way that it's, you can keep your original plastic buttons if you wish, if you prefer that feel, but also you have the option from us of the metal buttons, and obviously they'll be included in all. The grips, I have yet to see what the 3D scans have done. I did contact them telling them to remove those grips, to scan them as separate parts, so we can include them separately and make them separate colours with the accent, rather than just one machined piece, because that'd be cool. And that way we can just do a bunch of spare different colours that allow customization. People can order a few different sets and customize in that way. I'm thinking of we'll see, but I'm thinking of not recreating the plexiglass, I guess, shield for the front. I could do it, but I just don't see there being a massive need for it. We could just use the original one. I've got to think about that more. We'll see once we get the samples in, we test it. I'll obviously put up a bit of a vote, send out a bit of an email blast to get your feedback. But yeah, that's going there. I think we've really covered most of the major topics. I guess just for those that are on the Beyblade runs, obviously there's been a bit of delay to the production, to the factory. Some things were delayed. Something like the Dragoon F anime has shipped already, and it wasn't scheduled to ship till next month. But anyway, we've had a bit of unluckiness with Drigger itself. Obviously the first batch came, and as I showed you all, there was a bit of an issue with fitment of the core. Wasn't happy with it, So the factory said, okay, yep, we'll remake that for you. Then they, in the process of remaking that, I asked them to do the base and the cores together, so they come fully assembled. So for me, it's a matter of taking the old base out of your box, turfing it, putting in the new one. So it's, you know, you're not waiting weeks and weeks of labor from me just to get it all set up once we get those parts, because I am just one guy. So they agreed to do that. But yeah, the cores, when they were out for plating, the plating factory lost them. So, you know, we had everything made, all the parts ready to go, they all plated, it just now needed to be assembled together and packaged in some way and shipped to me, and they lost the parts. So they're being remade now. I've told them, because look, with this round of Druga we made some exotic colours like the blue and all that. Now I know certain colours are quicker than others, so I told them, and more common with you guys, so I've told them to prioritise the ones that most orders are waiting on, and they are finished plating, so they just need to be going to assembly. So really in the next few days they should ship, and I should get them next week. Let's hope, touch wood, nothing else crazy happens, but that's going strong. Dragoon V, I've been told now, as of today, is ready to ship. So I'm guessing I'll probably get a tracking number for it tomorrow. So look, Dragoon V, Dragoon S Anime, and Dragoon F Anime, I will get over this week, early next week, and start shipping to everybody. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Checking out.